Hello everyone. Have you ever heard about the TOEFL IBT test? The TOEFL IBT test allows you to demonstrate that you have the language skills necessary for effective communication in academic setting. It has 4 sections: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. Now I am going to talk about the reading section. The reading section is the first section in the TOEFL IBT test. In the reading section, you will find 3 to 4 passages. Each passage will have 700 words in each passage, and you will find 12 to 14 questions in each one. So you have 60 to 80 minutes to complete the section. In the reading section, you will find 8 types of questions. They are vocabulary, reference, paraphrasing, sentence insertion, factual information, and negative factual information, rhetorical purpose, summary chart, and schematic table. Now I am going to explain you about the vocabulary question. Vocabulary question asks you to identify the meaning of the word. You will find 3 to 4 questions in each passage. You will find vocabulary questions like this. The word X in the passage is close in meaning to, or the paraphrase X in the passage is close in meaning to. Now, here is a real example. The word is highlighted in the passage. Most of the information needed to answer the question is in the context of the sentence in which the word is located. You may need to read a sentence before or after the highlighted word to help you choose the best answer. To answer this type of question, you will need to read the entire sentence that the highlighted vocabulary word is in, determine the functions of the words, for example, part of the speech in the sentence, and identify the meaning of the word for the correct answer. Reference is another type of question. It's like the vocabulary question. But in this type of question, asks you to what the word refers to. There are 0 to 2 questions in each passage. You will find examples like this. The word in the passage refers to, or which word in this paragraph does refers to. Here is a real example. The word is highlighted in the passage. Most of the information for answer is in the highlighted sentence. You may need to read a sentence before or after the highlighted word to help choose the best answer. And in the example, we see that the word highlighted is them. And we have 4 options: emotions, people, photographs, and cultures. So you need to read in order to choose the best answer. Paraphrasing is another type of question. In this type of question, asks you to identify a sentence that has essentially the same meaning as the sentence in the reading passage. Never find more than 1 question. You will find the paraphrasing question like this. Which of the sentences below best express the essential information in the highlighted sentence in paragraph X? Incorrect choices change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. Now let's look at the real example. The sentence is highlighted in the passage. Most of the information for the answer is in the highlighted sentence. You may need to read 2 or 2 sentences before or after the highlighted sentence to help you to choose the best answer. Use punctuation such as commas to break the sentence down in parts that are easier to understand, and identify any transitional words or phrases that can indicate time, contrast, addition, and so on. And in that way you will answer the question. Sentence insertion. This type of question is designed to show that you understand the logical order of the reading passage. Every reading passage includes just one. You will see examples like this. Where will the sentence best fit? Click on the square to add the sentence to the passage. This type of question is commonly seen a square. The squares are clearly marked in the passage. The test also usually automatically scrolls to the paragraphs with the squares. So you need to read the sentence to determine if it is starting a general idea or is talking about a specific example or detail. General ideas usually occur through the beginning of the paragraph. An example or detail will typically follow the main idea sentence of a paragraph.
Another kind of question in the TOEFL test is the factual information and negative factual information. In the factual information, we have 3 to 6 questions for each passage, but in negative factual information, we find 1 to 2 questions for each passage. In factual information and negative factual information, ask for infer major ideas, supporting ideas, details, and definition of the paragraph that is about. How to the question of factual information? We have some question that is very important in order to recognize it. According to the paragraph X, in the paragraph X, where, what, and when. In the following example, we can see that we have 4 options. You need to select the correct option. So usually the question will tell you in what paragraph to look for the answer. The questions are also generally in the order of information presented in the passage. On the other hand, negative factual information, you need to recognize according to those kind of questions. According to the passage, which of the following is not true? Or all of the following are mentioned except? Here you have a clear example about the negative factual information. According to the paragraph 4, all of the following statements are true about the light processing unit of the eye, except. Here you have 4 options too. So you need to, the questions are also generally in order of the information presented in the passage. Questions that require you to scan the entry passage for answer usually come later instead of questions related to the passage. Rhetorical purpose is another kind of TOEFL ability test. Every reading passage includes just one. So it's to identify the rhetorical purpose with the following question. What does the author? What is the function of? The author mentioned X in order to. But where to find the answer? We need to, the word or phrase or sentence is highlighted in the passage. Here you have one real example. In the paragraph 2, what does the author mention Charles Darwin's origin of the species? Here you have 4 options. You need to choose the best answer reading the paragraph 2 in order to find the best option. There is another type of questions in the TOEFL test that we have in one question for each passage. It is determine the details in the passage are major supporting ideas should be included in the summary. Also, the minor and major supporting ideas of each paragraph. In the summary chart, you need to introductory sentence for a brief summary of the passage is provided below. It needs to complete the summary by selecting 3 answer choices that express the most important ideas in the passage. Here you have one example of the summary chart. Here you have 6 options. You need to know that 3 of them are correct and the rest are incorrect. so need to compete with just 3 of them. And the answer in the schematic table. We need to identify the paragraphs that discuss the categories given. Also, scan each paragraph that discusses the related categories in the table for the information that corresponds to the answer choices. Eliminate choices that are definitely false or not discussed in the passage. Here you have a clear example of this kind of schematic table. Here you have the table and you need to compete with the correct statements that they correspond to applied arts. Also, 2 of them in the fine arts. Schematic table. We have 0 to 1 question for each passage. It refers to unlike the key information of the passage, and also you need to organize the major idea from the passage. As a conclusion, we need to know the topic test contains conversation, listening, writing, and speaking and reading. Reading is the most challenging of the section. 100 words for each passage, 15 to 80 minutes to complete this section. That's all. Good luck for the next section.